And if I did have a takeaway, I'm just like, oh well, I had a takeaway. Let's move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like I think before I would have been like, oh god, I had a takeaway. I would talk to my boyfriend about it. He'd be like, just get over it. I'm like, I can't. But now it's like, okay, we had this takeaway. It's fine. We just move on tomorrow. Let's just move on to the next day. It's not. I don't think I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm not like, oh, I had a takeaway. I need to go and do 30,000 steps to burn off that takeaway. I'm just like, you had one takeaway in a week. That's not gonna make you gain all the way back. Like it's all about balance, really. Isn't it? It's all about balance, enjoying your life, and losing weight on the way. So I think I found a happy medium now.
Welcome back to another episode of Slimming Stories. I'm your host, Claire Olin West. Hope you're well. I hope today's finds you in good, strong strides for the week ahead, and I hope you're ready for some motivation for this week. This week's guest is Lydia. Such I don't know, she just feels like a massive breath of fresh air. She's a real joy to watch over on Instagram, and when I contacted her, she was all about the hoop, looking at reducing her waist size with doing the hula hoop, and she took that up and she really enjoyed that. You could just see by her post that she was really into that. And on today's episode, I just want to say that, you know, sometimes it's great to get some inspiration for people that are still on their journey. So Lydia's not at target, however she's making great strides, not just in terms of the figure on the scales going down. In fact, Lydia talks a lot in this episode about how she's moved away from that number on the scales. And on Instagram, she'll do lots of what I call zip-up posts, where she'll do like a post before with something that won't fasten and then something again where it now fastens. And you can just see the delight in her face that she's been able to get into, you know, this item of clothing. And I think it's important to touch on all aspects of the weight loss journey. And Lydia follows calorie counting. That's her choice. And she speaks about how she just couldn't deal with, I guess, the diet industry, the diet mentality. And she was in that pattern where she kept losing weight, putting it on, and she was yo-yoing up and down the scales. So much so that she just fell out with the scales, and she doesn't often weigh, but she does like to measure, like I've just mentioned, measuring her clothes. She loves putting her, I guess, her focus and attention also on exercise, and she talks a lot about that and how she's now moving her body. And I just think this is going to really motivate you for the week ahead. I love everything about Lydia. You know, she's got this great energy about her, and I think that we can all learn a lot from Lydia. So here's introducing Lydia to her episode of Slimming Stories. Enjoy. Oh my goodness, I really wanted to have you on the podcast, Lydia, because after lockdown I was thinking, you know, I need to work on my motivation. It's like a continuous journey, you know, that word journey that we all use. And every time that you show up on social media, on Instagram, you know, you just, I don't know, there's something about you. You've got this aura of positivity. And also when I look at your posts, it feels that when you do post, there's no real hate speech about yourself. You're not beating yourself over the head with something that went off in the past. It's really, really positive.
If you actually go back like 2 years ago, I would have beaten myself up about my post. But I think now it's so important to be positive about yourself. That's the only way I stay motivated. If I'm negative, I just go left. So I think that's why all my posts are more positive minded than going to the negative side of things. So yeah, if I don't stay positive, I think that's how I kind of go off the rails. So
yeah, and on your Instagram, you've posted on there about being the same girl but having different stages in your life. So just want to talk you through how Lydia was in this negative mindset a couple of years ago, and how the change, I guess, has come about, and what's happened to start that ball rolling.
Well, 2 years ago, I think I was just putting on a lot of weight. We moved to Bristol. It wasn't but probably about 3 years ago. We moved to Bristol, started a new job. I was away from all my friends. So it was just me and my boyfriend. So I think we started to just eat a lot of crap food. And the more crap food I ate, the more bad I felt about myself.
Mm.
So I don't know. I think I was more negative. Every time I looked in the mirror, I was just like, you shouldn't be wearing that. You should be having your stomach out. You shouldn't show off your, because I've got quite big boobs. Don't show off your boobs. Don't show off your legs. Don't show off anything, because every time you show any of those bits off, someone will have a bad word to say about it. And I think what helped me is every day I got on Instagram, there's so many like plus size beauties on there that were like, do you know what? No, I am gonna wear what I want, and I don't care if anyone says anything negative about me. And I think slowly I started to think, do you know what? Post one picture and see how it goes. And I had no negative comments. So I was just like, do you know what? Actually, start thinking more positively about yourself and don't think about the negative. I still have like days where I look in the mirror and go, oh my God, I'm back to where I was 2 years ago. But I think it's just like a snippet of it. And then I just go back to, no, actually, Liz, you look good. So, yeah.
And that's it. And it's great to have, plus size models on there and wearing lovely clothes. And that's the thing, isn't it? If we can love ourselves at the point that we want to start to implement change, it's an easier process, because it's almost like that bungee cord, isn't it? Where you get so far and then you have like a flicker of what happened, and right back to the start.
So easy to get triggered back to your starting point, I think, because I think that's what my trigger is, being negative about myself. And the more I'm being negative, the more I will go back to eating loads of food and just shut myself away and don't look at the mirror and just wear baggy clothes and just don't think good about yourself. So I think me staying positive is just, and seeing all those positive posts about everyone and all the plus size beauties and even plus size, mid size, doesn't matter what size, that everyone just looks gorgeous. And I'm just like, oh my God, I actually like inspired to be like them. So
absolutely. So it sounds like all of this has been quite a freeing process for you to have gone from like you say, wearing the baggy clothes and not wanting to show up on social media, and talk about an absolute U-turn. Because I see you on there with your hula hoop. I see you posting on there. You're always on there, and you're talking face to camera. And even though I do the podcast and I do show up and talk face to camera, I know how difficult it is. I mean, when I think back about that first face to camera that I did, or even that first podcast, I think I probably did about 30 or 40 takes, because it's so hard to show up in our real selves and just press publish, isn't it? It's just so hard. So how was that for you when you decided to show up in all your glory and just be you? How was that? Was it an easy transition, or was it like a work in progress? Did it take a while to do that?
It took a while, because I think the first time I took pictures of myself, I took quite a lot of pictures, and when you go through your pictures and you're just like, oh no, I don't think that's any good. I think it took me about 3-4 attempts. I saved them all to my draft and I never posted them. I think it took me a good 2 to 3 months to actually post a picture of myself and go, right, just do it. Because when you just like so self-conscious about yourself, you just think, oh no, people are just gonna say, why are you posting that picture? You look horrible. But I think the losing weight part as well helps me as well to like feel a bit more confident about myself. So I think that process of posting the first ever picture of being in a fitted outfit was very daunting for me, I think. Very daunting. Like, I get so nervous. I'm just like in my head all the time. I just get so nervous thinking, what are people going to think of me? Is this right? Is this acceptable? But I think if I talk to myself back then, I probably would have said, just post it, Liz. Just post it. No, if anyone says anything negative, just delete that comment. You don't even have to look at it anymore. I would just delete negative comments, but I never have got a negative comment, so I never have been in that position.
That's the thing, I think, when you are able to show up as yourself, it's so refreshing to see that. Then people are like, okay, that's my person. They get me, don't they? That's the thing, isn't it? It's like you can talk to your audience, I guess, and they're the people that get you, and they're the people that leave the lovely comments. I know that when I first started doing the podcast, I was like, oh my god, I sound so common. I don't speak the Queen's English. Everybody that at the time that was podcasting was like really posh. It's like, who's gonna listen to this? But you do it, don't you? Putting yourself out there, it's so liberating. And looking at your Insta page and also reading your positive self-talk, how does that compare with how you were 2 years ago? Was that something that you had to work on, or was it just a case of, right, okay, that needs to go and I need to just be kinder to myself?
Yeah, it definitely is a complete 180. Like 2 years ago, I probably would have said, I would have posted something negative first about myself and then turn into something positive, but then go back to the negative.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like those, when you go negative, positive, negative. And I used to post it and I think, if I say something negative about myself now, no one else will. I think that was my mindset as well. And like over time, I slowly said, no, actually, I look good in this. I look good in that. I can wear what I want. If anyone says anything negative about me, I can just tell them to bugger off.
Yeah.
So basically, I think before it was more like, if you say something negative about yourself, no one else can say. So basically, when you're like in school and someone comes up to you and they say something negative, but you say it first before they can say something.
Yeah.
You just that was that kind of feeling, I think, because obviously in school I wasn't like the most confident. Like I always used to joke about myself, and I think that was that kind of mindset back then as well.
It's a way to protect yourself before somebody else,
before someone else can
to hurt
before
you.
anyone can like hurt me. Yeah, that's the thing, because I don't know, that's the way I am. I think it's just I'd rather say it myself before someone else can say it to me. But it would hurt. I think it would hurt less then.
I know that other guests I don't know said similar things. So when you were at school, did you have a lot of negative comments, or did you perceive yourself to have a lot of negative comments?
I felt like I had negative comments because back in school I probably thought like, oh, I'm joking about it, and everyone else is joking about it. It's just a joke. So I never felt like it was like anything serious until I grew up a bit more, and for all those negative things I used to say about myself, and I thought, oh god, I am that. Probably I am fat. Maybe I am too big chested, or I've got too much of a big bum, or my thighs are too big, or stuff like that. So, but now I'm just like, no, do you know what? No one's perfect. No one. If you all look the same, it'd be boring, and that's just life. Like, doesn't matter what size you are, just wear what you want.
Exactly. And there's that point where that self-acceptance has to come in, otherwise you drive yourself crazy. And from what you've just explained there, it feels that when you was at school you made these jokes for so long that in later life it's almost like you reinforce those negative comments, and they then became your beliefs. And I think trying to undo that as an adult can be, it can be a process. And it feels to me that obviously you're on the right track now. And you spoke there about your weight loss journey. So if you just want to talk to me a little bit about that. I understand about calories. And it's really important to say that you're all about not obsessing about the scales, which I think is fantastic. Now, that is something within weight loss groups that generally it's like a weekly weigh-in. So if you just want to talk me through how you have found counting calories to work for you, and any changes that's brought about.
I've got nothing against Slimming World. I literally follow so many people do Slimming World. I think Slimming World is amazing. It works. It did work for me, but I think I've kept going into that cycle of losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. I just wanted to get out of that cycle. So I think calorie counting for me was a bit more, I think it was more controlled for me. And I think not going on the scales every week, I think helped my mindset a bit more, thinking, do you know what, Liz, you don't need the scales. Just eat right, exercise and it will happen. So I know it's been 6 months I've lost 2 stone, but I've lost like 74 centimeters of my body. This is the most I've lost in the last 7 years I've been doing to lose weight. So
fantastic.
Yeah, the most I've lost, definitely. So I think calorie counting is definitely helps me with the controlling of carbs and stuff, because I love my carbs. So I think the more I control it, I think the better I can feel like I can lose weight. Because with certain what I used to have the biggest plate of pasta or the biggest plate of rice, or loads of potatoes, but now it's a bit more controlled. So I think that's what helped me a bit more, and I think not having to weigh every single week helped me as well. So
when you used to weigh and you got on the scales, what did that actually mean to you when you saw that number, and how did it make you feel seeing that in front of you on a weekly basis?
If it was a number that wasn't what I wanted, I was very, very upset with myself. And I think that was another way of me thinking, oh, do you know what, I've just done really bad, so I might as well just have a really bad week. So I think it just triggered my eating quite a lot. And because it's in front of other people, I always felt like I was like a failure, and oh my God, like why did I not lose enough and stuff like. I think it just was a really bad trigger for me, that seeing the number on the scale. Like if it was a good number, I'd be like ecstatic. But I think the other trigger with that was I needed to lose more. It was positive, but it wasn't positive. It was more like an obsession of getting the right number on the scales, and especially if you're doing it in front of other people. But I've been doing a challenge for 4 weeks, and I have to weigh every single week, which was a challenge for me, I think.
Yeah.
But one of the weeks I actually gained weight because I was isolating. But I thought in my head, don't let that get to you, because you've done the best you could in that time. And you know what? My reaction from that to when I used to be in Slimming World, I think, it was a different mindset for me.
Totally different. When I've looked at calorie counting and the system that I was looking at is where you basically weigh yourself every day at the same time every day. And for some people, I think that would be quite obsessive.
It is,
yeah. But the whole thing around that is that your body can fluctuate so much so with water, as a woman, through your menstrual cycle and all those things, that basically if you weigh yourself every day, and if you've not consumed in excess, like, is it 3,500 calories that you need to like put a pound on, whatever that amount is, then you know that you've not actually done anything, let's say the word bad, because I know some of the terms within the weight loss groups are quite negative. I actually found that quite a comfort, that if I had put weight on, but I knew that my calories had been right for the day, then I knew that I'd not. It's just my body's water fluctuating and things like that. So it's definitely interesting just to get that bit of an insight into people that do other weight loss programs, or whether they, whether that be Weight Watchers or doing the calorie counting and keto and things like that. How do you find counting calories motivates you in terms of like wearing a Fitbit and looking at maybe the exercise that you're doing and the calories that you're burning off? How does that work for you? And is there a balance in terms of, okay, right, I've eaten that, I don't know, I've eaten that takeaway, so I'm now going to go and do like 20k steps or something?
No, so I don't really look at the calories burned, because I got told that not to look at the calories you burn off your Fitbit, only because it sometimes gives you false reading. So what I do is I bank. If I want to like a takeaway at the end of the week, I try and bank calories. So like every day I have like 100 calories less, and then by the end of the week I would have more calories. Because you don't look at it every day; you look at it as a weekly structure. Yeah. So you basically will have enough calories left for the end of the week, so you don't feel so guilty eating that takeaway. And if I did have a takeaway, I'm just like, oh well, I had a takeaway. Let's move on to the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not like, I think before I would have been like, oh God, I had a takeaway. I would talk to my boyfriend about it. He'd be like, just get over it. I'm like, I can't. um, but now it's like, okay, we had this takeaway. It's fine. We just move on tomorrow. Like, let's move on to the next day. It's not. I don't think I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not like, oh, I have a takeaway. I need to go and do 30,000 steps to burn off that takeaway. I'm just like, you had one takeaway in a week. That's not gonna make you gain all the way back. Like, it's all about balance, really, isn't it? It's all about balance, enjoying your life, and losing weight on the way. So I think I found a happy medium now.
Brilliant. Yeah. So when you talk about enjoying your life, and I see you there with your hula hoop doing the couch to 5K, and I also read that, you know, originally when you started, walking up the stairs was really uncomfortable. So this has been such a transformation, let alone the weight loss. Does this, I guess, old persona of you showing up with your hula hoop, going out and doing your runs, you know, that is such a big thing. So how does it feel now that I'd imagine that walking up the stairs is a breeze if you're able to run?
It still hurts going up the stairs. Obviously, when you go to the gym and you do lunges and squats, it hurts. But it's definitely I definitely feel easier going up the stairs, and I'm not out of breath. I've got one flight of stairs to go up in my house, and it was a struggle every single time. Sometimes I used to say to my boyfriend, can you go get that for me, because I just can't do the stairs.
Yeah. I love it.
But now, like, from like January, I've started to do 10,000 steps a day, and then I said to myself, you know what, start doing couch to 5K, because usually if I start something like this, I don't finish it, and I actually completed it, and I was so proud of myself. And then after the couch to 5K, I started doing the gym because I want to start building up on my fitness as well.
Yeah.
So I think from this time last year, I'm a completely different person. And the hula hooping, I started with the hula hooping before I started anything else, and that was probably the biggest challenge, because trying to keep that hula hoop up for more than 2 seconds was a struggle.
Yeah.
But now I can dance around. I'm still not 100% good at it, but I can dance around it. And I think hula hooping is definitely like my favorite choice of exercising, because you can just dance whilst losing weight on your waist, and it's basically you dance, enjoy life, and you losing weight at the same time. So exactly. And you don't feel like you're exercising. That's the good part about it.
That's it. I mean, I love listening to music, so to be able to do that and then a hula hoop. So I've got a hoop. My mum, who is, I think she's 74, she's an absolute whiz at the hoop, honest to God.
Oh, shit.
We count it. She can do like over 100, 120 without it dropping. I do about 20. It's around my ankles. So to pick that up, did you take part in any group?
Basically, I follow the lovely Lisa. I absolutely love her. She's Slim and Spin on Instagram, and she is absolutely amazing with a hula hoop. And in the first lockdown, she's done like a hula hoop challenge, like really basic hula hoop movements for about 4 weeks. And I think by week, and every single week, I used to message and say, "Oh my God, I can't do this." And she's like, "No, keep going. You honestly, as soon as you get it, you will not stop. Trust me." Yeah. And her challenge, by the end of it, I wasn't the best, but I could keep that hoop up, and I think that was my main goal. And she was absolutely amazing. I think because of her, I'm hooping now. Honestly, she's amazing.
Oh, I love that.
After the little group, it was literally just her and her videos.
Yeah.
So like really she's got like instructional videos on how to do the hooping, and honestly, that's how I learned how to hoop.
So which hoop do you use to do your hooping?
I've got a weighted hoop. So it's got 8 parts, and you stick it together, and I think it's 1.5 kilos.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just use that, and it does bruise at first. It does really hurt, but I've never stopped using it. It's amazing. I just got it from Amazon. So absolutely love to hoop. And I think the music, if you like if you watch like TV and you watch something for like half an hour, all you gotta do is just get your hoop out and just stand in front of the TV, watch it, and just hoop. And you literally like half an hour can burn like 300 calories if you're doing it like really fast. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Yeah.
And when I see you posting like your zip up, what I call like your zip up posts, and it will be like a post where you couldn't quite get a pair of trousers up, and then you're in that item of clothing. Talk us through how that actually feels when you're able to get that zip up.
I think the first one I done, I actually cried because I was just like, oh my God, I've not worn this for such a long time. And I think it was the first one I ever done was my jean one. And it was my favorite pair of jeans, and I could not wear them for such a long time. And when I done the video, I put them out and I said, there's no way there's no way this is going to zip up. And I literally closed it and it zipped, and I was like, oh my God. And I literally started crying. I literally had to turn the camera off and I just started crying. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I've just done that. But I think those videos for me shows me that I am doing progress, that I am progressing in what my goal is. I quite like doing those progress videos because I think that just steps me away from the scales and just shows how hard I'm working and how my body's changing and things are finally fitting me. My chest is still the same size. So it's quite hard to get certain things on, but I think those kind of videos really like help me in my journey as well, like just to see how hard I'm working. Because sometimes sometimes you do stuff for like 3 months and you think, oh my God, I haven't done anything, nothing's changed, and you suddenly you wear something that's like a size down to what you used to wear. You just like, oh, actually, I am working quite hard. So
it's working, and rather than having to weigh yourself every week, you can do that assessment, that measure of trying on the clothes. Because at the end of the day, when we really think about what we do want, or for most people, I know for most myself and my friends, it's to be able to go shopping and to buy what you want without having to worry about how it's going to look, or buy things that are really baggy because you're conscious of maybe your stomach or your backside, whatever that thing is. But then to see that as your measure, and that is you're future pacing, aren't you? You're stepping into the future you and how you want to be, and to be able to then get into those clothes that you really wanted and that you used to wear in the past. It's almost confirmation, like you say, that you're doing the right thing, you're on the right track, it's working, that goal's that much further in sight, and it inspires people along the way too. And it's lovely to think, you don't have to obsess over scales. I think everything you're doing is really, you really are inspiring other people, because that progress, it's like a movie, isn't it? We can see it because you're there talking us through it each and every step of the way.
Yeah, so I definitely, like you said, I definitely recommend picking an item of clothing and, picking an item of clothing and say, right, it doesn't fit me now, but in 6 months' time, it might fit me. So I think that kind of progress and seeing yourself working towards that little goal, I think I definitely recommend it. And also what I also recommend is measuring yourself, like every month or every 3 months, measuring yourself with a measuring tape. Because sometimes you could stay the same, but you could still lose inches or centimeters of your body. So because some people I see on social media, they say, oh, I've maintained this weight, I wish I had lost weight. But then if I say to them, oh, try and measure yourself, because you could actually have lost inches of your body, because obviously if you're exercising and you're eating right, but you're just maintaining, it could be a number of things because you maintain. But if you measure yourself, I think that's another good part of the journey, like just to show yourself that you are losing inches off your body, and you again stepping away from that scale if the scale is a trigger for you. It was definitely for me. So
and it's good that you've recognized that. And what do you feel like, looking at this point of your journey, what do you feel that exercise has done for you as a person in terms of like your self-esteem, and how you how you look at yourself when you're at that point when you are, I don't know, naked in front of the mirror, and you're giving yourself that self-love, that self-talk that is positive compared to what, you know, was in the past. How has exercise impacted that self-talk?
I think when I done my first progress pic, and then I sort of changed, the more steps I did, and gone back and looked myself in the mirror more and thought, oh my God, it's working. I don't know how to say it helped me with my self-talk, but I think it helped me with me becoming more confident and seeing the changes in my body and seeing what I want to see. And I think, like, I don't want people to think, oh yeah, she's doing it to become skinny. No, I'm doing it to become healthy, and I need to become healthy because I've got underlying health issues that I need to rectify. So there is different things to why I'm doing it, but the way I look at myself now is definitely positive, and I think the exercise part of things, it's aiding towards me looking the way I look now. So
exactly. Yeah. So for anybody listening, Lydia, that would like to follow you on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
It's at Lid's Journey to #2 Target.
Fabulous. And what I'll do, I'll put a link in the show notes. So anybody listening, just click on that link, and then you can go and see Lydia with her hoops, with her doing a runs and all of those things, and help to inspire you too. So thank you so much for joining me today, Lydia. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I was nervous at the beginning, but I think I've eased into it, and thanks for being such a fabulous interviewer.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll bring you on again. You're welcome. Thank you. You take care. Thank you.
Thank you too.
It was such a joy to have Lydia on the show, and I just like, I guess, Lydia's take on it, which is physically taking a photograph before and after. And I think that's something that we could all do, whether we're brave enough or not to post on social media. That's another thing entirely, but definitely I think it's something that we can all do. And I think, you know, Lydia's been super inspiring, and I hope that you can think about doing this, you know, maybe going through your wardrobe. There's probably pieces in there that you feel that you just can't fit into. For whatever reason, you don't have the motivation to stick to plan. Maybe things have been too busy, you've not had that focus. But maybe this could be the turning point for you. Maybe you could take that item out and start keeping a library of things that really, really motivate you. You could even put like a Pinterest board and set it to private, and put all of your items that you'd really love to fit into, ready for Christmas maybe. You know, we've got, is it about 14? Oh my goodness, it's about 14 weeks to Christmas. You know, future pacing is something that I love to talk about. It's not really woo-woo. It's basically about thinking about where you want to be in a month's time, in 2 months' time, how you want to feel in the clothes that you're in. And maybe when you're looking through your wardrobe and you're trying to find a piece to wear for an occasion, an event, whether it's a birthday or a party, if the clothes that you're wearing just aren't doing it for you, and if the reason for that is because you're quite overwhelmed with sticking to plan and getting to the gym and just feeling good in your skin. And I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? We can talk about numbers on the scales till, you know, the cows come home, but it's all about putting clothes on, and or not even, and feeling good in our own skin. And if you're not quite feeling it, I really hope that Lydia's story has really helped you to see that it's just a case of starting. You know, it's just a case of starting and flipping your mindset around the stories that you tell yourself and where you are now. And you can future pace this. You can look at the items in your wardrobe, take some photographs and think, you know, what do I need to do to get into those clothes? What do I need to be doing? And maybe I need to put a morning routine into place. I'm sure everyone that's tuned into this podcast is looking for some motivation, something that will give them that click moment to commit to, that light bulb moment that they'll think, right, okay, that's what I'm going to do this week. And I think Lydia has brought all those elements to this podcast episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've not yet subscribed, if you're a new listener to the podcast, please hit subscribe wherever you listen. And if you're somebody that's listened to the podcast since 2019, please write and leave a review. That would be absolutely fantastic. It's my 2-year podcast anniversary next month, and I would love to see some more reviews on iTunes, that would be absolutely amazing. So have a great week ahead, and until next time, take care.